Hey guys, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Knack and my first impressions. I've been playing the game for about the last 4 hours now, and it actually has been the biggest surprise out of all the games because probably like most of you, I read all the reviews and it got about a half score out of every kind of markings, like 2.5 stars or 5 point something out of 10. And a lot of people have been saying it's just kind of a mediocre game, pretty average. But from what I've played, it's actually so much fun, and I just wanted to go over a few of the things that I thought were quite good about it, and talk about probably the only negative. Excuse me. So I'll get the negative out the way first. I mean, the only thing I really found that I'm not kind of, it's not so much that I don't like it, it's just I feel like it's a bit, it could have been used in the opposite way to improve the game, and that's when you get the special powers throughout different parts of the game. When you save them up, um, you feel like they're kind of forced on you in certain areas, where you have to kind of use them, um, and it's not really like you can get them and use them at your own will. Um, Other than the sunstone ones, which seem to be scattered out pretty much everywhere, but anything else seems to be pretty much just when you're going to need it at this point, the game will give you it. So that's the only little negative thing I've noticed. But now on to the good points, because I think it's one of those games that a lot of people are going to pass off just based on reviews, and then they'll probably go back to it later when it's cheap and they'll find out that actually they passed up a really great game. So first thing, the story. The story's pretty good. It's nothing that's gonna make you feel like the way The Last of Us does, but it fits the game and it's done quite well. And the Pixar type movie and animated cutscenes are really nice. Yeah, not much more than that. The game itself is quite, it's a lot like a classic old school platformer slash beat 'em up, in the sense that you're not doing too much platforming. It's more of a beat 'em up, but a lot of people have been calling it a platformer because there are different parts in the game where you are platforming to a very small extent. But yeah, it's classic in the sense that it the way the camera's kind of fixed, and you don't spin it round, and just the way it feels, the type of attacks you use, and the way the game just overall feels, it's a lot like those old games like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro's. I don't know if any of you guys can remember a game called Croc, which I used to love. It's a lot like those old classic PlayStation games. It's got a real old school PlayStation feel to it, which I really love. And when you've got a bunch of games, shooters and RPGs and all the kind of stuff you'd expect at launch, it's great that they've added in something like this just to mix it up a bit and give PlayStation owners a bit of variety. Talking about variety, the environments and the characters are quite diverse. You've got lots of different types of goblins, which are the main enemies in the game, but different classes and different sizes, different armors, different weapons that they've all got, and each one you have to change up your gameplay a little bit on how you're gonna attack it. You've also got little enemies throughout the world, like little robots or quite some really cool like little bugs, scarab beetles, and little I think it's hummingbirds that you need to attack and stuff. And they're actually really cool the way you fight them, because they've got lots of different attacks and different moves, and it's really varied. There's nothing just similar. Kind of copied and pasted throughout the different enemies. It's not like they all look different, but they do the same thing. They've all got different types of attacks, which is really cool. The environments, from what I've seen on YouTube and that, I've only seen like that kind of annoying city background, but I've been through jungles, caves, through the city as well. Obviously, so far through like little kind of rocky. Cliff kind of edges and stuff, and it's really cool seeing all that different stuff. Back on the enemies though, the AI is actually really smart. The way they'll attack you, sometimes they'll run forward, then stop and jump back a little bit, and then come back and attack you again, and just kind of flinch, and they'll move out. They'll move into different positions to make it harder for you to attack all of them at once and stuff. So they're quite smart, the AI, the way they attack. There's nothing groundbreaking, but it's just really good to see solid AI, and done really well. The graphics, of course, probably the thing that most people notice straight away is really good. The whole thing, from cutscenes to the backgrounds, the character models, everything is stunning. It's one of the best looking next gen games I've seen. And one of the things that I really like about it, which I've seen a few people complain about a bit, is how challenging it is. It's not hard in the sense that it's just kind of impossible to beat and stuff. It's all about timing and precision, and the fact that after you get hit, maybe when you're in your top kind of form, you've absorbed a lot of the different relics. It takes, I think, about 3 or 4 hits to kill you, but most of the time, other than that, it's just 2 hits and then you're kind of smashed into pieces and you're dead. And I really like that because it's punishing, but it's fair kind of punishing. It's not like it's a cheap way of setting you back to make the game feel longer. It's that right amount of challenge that the old games used to have, where you have to be really precise in your attacks. You slip up once, then you're getting punished for it. So it's all about. It may seem strange to compare it to Dark Souls or Demon Souls, but it's all about the timing and learning the enemy's attacks and the different movements, because there's so many different types of enemies and weapons that they're all attacking you in different ways. For example, I've seen the same goblin. There's also different classes of goblins, but for example, if you just take the bottom one, you might get the smallest one, the tiny blue one. He might come run. You might get one with an axe. You might get one with a bow and arrow. You might get one with some armor throwing stuff at you. And if you get all 3 of them together, and they've all got different weapons on you, you've got to approach it in a different way. So it's really varied, and it's overall I'm having so much fun with it. Just to be honest with you, and I just think a lot more people should try it out and give it a chance, because it's definitely a game worth picking up, I think. And yeah, I just wanted to let you all know that, because it had been getting a few negative reviews, and I think it's definitely better than the score it got. Thanks for watching, guys.